I'm just in exile, standing in front of Babala, asking her for my fucking fourth ascendancy. Hey guys, today I just kind of wanted to go over my successful playthrough of Trial of Sekhemas. It was, I don't know what attempt this was. Maybe my like 6th attempt or something like that, but I kind of wanted to give like the the average player's playthrough and being able to get through it and get your 4th ascendancy. I wasn't having success with Ultimatum, so I tried this like as a last-ditch effort, and I ended up being pretty successful. The only thing that I can say that as a preface to this is that you do have to run other Sekhemas trials before this, because you need to get the relics to have max honor res capped and increased honor. And some other ones are good too, like if you can see a room ahead, or things that manipulate the vendor. Boss health, boss damage, your health, your damage. I might be getting some of these confused with things that you can purchase at the vendor, but typically you want to be honor res capped plus increased honor, and then vision in the rooms, so that the boons don't really matter too much. The boons are nice, but the negative ones are really bad. They can be really bad, and you need to avoid some of those. So I kind of just wanted to go through, this is the playthrough. I'll just give you like kind of like a play-by-play what's going on in my head. I'll fast forward some of the things that are pretty straightforward, like going through rooms and shit like that. Things where I'm like making a decision, I'll kind of give you what's going on in my head, so you can make similar choices, and hopefully it will cause you to be more successful in the future. By no means I'm an expert or the best god gamer at this or anything like that, so please take everything I say with a grain of salt, and here we go. So here I'm just looking at my relics, trying to figure out max honor resistance. You can see an additional room in the trial map that's really useful. The rare monster damage is what the fuck ever, doesn't matter. I don't have the biggest pool of relics to pull from either. You can buy some of these relics off of the trade website, but I was just trying to do it without buying too many relics off the trade website. Like almost like a solo self-found kind of run. I want to try to squeeze in this rug, but there wasn't any space. So this is a pretty straightforward trap room. Avoid the traps, get the switches, get to the end of the room. We'll speed this up a little bit. So one thing about like rooms like this is that killing all the mobs is kind of optional, but I recommend killing all the mobs if you can do it without taking damage. They're gonna have a chance to drop sacred water, and when you find a vendor within the map, you typically want to have around 400 sacred water to buy the more expensive stuff. All right, so there I was looking at all the negatives that were two rooms ahead, and I chose to go in the direction of the negative of no evasion. So I'm playing an ES build, evasion. I have no evasion, so it doesn't matter, and I have no armor, so it doesn't matter either. So those are like 2 freebies that I can have. Again, this is another trap gauntlet room, whatever. I don't know the technical names for the types of rooms. I'm going to try to kill all the mobs and try to run over and get all the sacred water that I can. Every little bit helps. I've been short, 3 sacred water from buying a really cool thing at the vendor. So make sure you collect all your sacred water. So the object here is to go through this room, which is going to grant no evasion, and through the sacred water fountain 2 rooms from now, or next room from now. And as far as these rooms go, I never pick like what you have to do in each room. I never avoid anything, so it's like if it's a if it's a gauntlet type thing with traps, or if it's the hourglass here, killing a bunch of mobs, or the one killing gates, or any of them, you really should be comfortable with doing all of them, because you can't really play around them. This was pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go through the Sacred Fountain, and then the Bronze Key. So there, I decided to go through the Bronze Key room, obviously, and then we're gonna go through the room that allows you to change the parameters of the run, which is essentially, typically it's like add a boon, add a negative, or some form of that. And some of the boons can be game breaking, and some of the curses or the downsides can be run breaking as well. So lose 30 sacred water on completion of a room, enfeeble 25% less max honor. It's not just lose 30 sacred water on that room, it's every room as long as you have that curse. So what I decide there is to go with enfeeble, which is, I believe, 15% less damage. My damage is pretty good, and there's a lot of damage modifier boons that you can get too. So minus 15 damage isn't too bad. So now we're going to take a look and see what we can get here. The afflictions can be really bad. So I'm getting a minor boon and taking 517 damage. So I got 20% less damage from monsters, which is really nice because some of the bosses can chunk you. And as a side note, I am running a chiming staff with Blink as spirit reservation for mobility. My movement speed is also 30% because the final boss in Trial of Sekhemas requires you to move onto 6 points over a certain amount of time, and if you don't do it, you'll die. So you need some form of movement speed or movement if you get a really bad spawn on those 6 points. This boss is pretty easy. I just kind of ramped the damage up here. I'm standing too close. I should have been a little bit further away. I took a couple of hits there. Don't be dumb like me if you're ranged. But pretty easy kill. And I don't know if this explosion will hurt you, but I stay away from it. So at the end of each boss phase, or each, I don't know what you call them, board run or whatever, you have the opportunity to buy from the merchant. So here I'm looking at all the choices, and I go with 50% reduced merchant prices because I need to buy a bunch of shit. And also, if you happen to get the curse that what is it called, reduces the amount of water that can drop, or you can lose water throughout the run. So having 50% reduced merchant costs is nice. And then I just inventory dump because I don't care about looking at this shit until the run's over. I don't even do the keys, really. Royals are good, so I open up the royal for the gem. But like, you don't really need to keep silver or bronze keys to the end. Really, the only ones you need to keep till the end are gold keys. So, reduced honor restored. You're not taken to the room that you always select. Lose all sacred water on floor completion. That's a pretty bad one. So I think about this one for a while, and I think I ended up picking reduced honor restored, 50% reduced. You should really not be getting hit, so you really shouldn't need that much honor recovery. If possible. A little trick with these rooms with the gems, if you haven't figured this out by now, when you click on them, they kind of tell you the direction of the other gems in the room that you can pick. Pretty straightforward, but you might not have noticed. So let's take a look at what's available. I don't have enough water, but... So I'm trying to avoid the curse room there. Grants a minor affliction when you venerate a Merketh shrine. So I choose to go towards the shrine restores honor because it's going to give me the option to look at 2 rooms instead of 1. And typically you don't want to try to pigeonhole yourself into 1 room. So I'm not going through the cursed room, so I'm trying to figure out which room I'm going to go towards. So I don't really choose the 2 rooms ahead, which one I'm going to go through. What I'm going to do is finish this room and then take a look at the 4 rooms that are going to be available past those 2 rooms to make my decision. So I don't really care about these 2 rooms. What I care about is going to be these 4 rooms, which ones I want to go through. So I decided that I want to go towards the merchant. So I changed my mind and not going towards the merchant because I only had 83 water. So I don't have anything really to purchase at the vendor. So typically you need 400, but I have 50% off stuff at the vendor. So it's around, I need about 200 to buy anything worthwhile, and so I only have 83, so it's not worth it enough. But what's funny is that this room probably will give me enough water to buy something, but I wouldn't be going in this direction to go to the vendor anyways, so. Mirror of Fortune, the next key you pick up is duplicated. I fucked this up. I pick up a bronze key. You really should be doing it with a gold key, but it's whatever. It doesn't really matter if you're just trying to finish the trials. So here I'm trying to calculate 155 damage for every room that you complete for the rest of the trials, which was, I don't know, a little bit less than 20 rooms. So I'm just calculating how much damage I would take. It's quite a bit. I think it ends up being about a quarter of my health bar. And I decide not to do it because I don't want to pick up too many negative things along the way. Because what will happen is the pool will narrow. And as it narrows, I think you'll get worse and worse negative things. I think that's how it happens, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there I realized that I fucked up and I picked up the bronze key and I duplicated it. So there I decided to go less sacred water found. It's 50%. So it's just going to match whatever sacred water I find with the merchant prices now instead of losing 25% honor. Although sometimes I will take the 25% less honor if I've gotten boons that have increased my maximum honor. My honor, you can't see it, it's kind of blocked by the screen here, by me, essentially, is usually hovering around 10,000 with max honor res. I don't have a gold key at this point to even open that up. Now we'll go to the boss. Again, I have a lot of damage, so even with Enfeeble, this boss fight's trivialized. If you don't have a lot of damage, I guess you kind of focus fire down one and kill the other. Just be careful, they have like swinging AoEs and stuff. So these are all pretty sweet, and I have enough water to buy most of them. Less life for monsters, less action speed for monsters, and 25 increased max honor. Skip the heal. Yeah, open up all the royal. I think those are the best silver key ones you can get. I kind of figured I was going to die, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll just open all the royal ones, whatever. Less honor. Afflictions are unknown on trial map, and monsters deal more damage. I go with 25% less max honor, 30 versus 30% monster damage. They're about the same. I can mitigate the less of the honor by just not getting hit. And if I do get hit, it won't kill me. I'm scared of getting killed outright. So if I do 30% increased monster damage, I'm concerned about bosses. So no sacred water, less merchant prices, removed weakened flesh, but remove vicious ichor. Gain a random minor boon, gain a random minor affliction. I just end up skipping this one. I want to go towards the merchant again, so I think that's where I aim. So I decided to go through the bottom there because the silver key room gives 3 room options afterwards, versus the merchant only gave 1. Don't want increased monster life by 50%. So here I'm going to remove the enfeeble, but I'm also kind of removing the enfeeble from the minions. My thought process here... I end up going to the merchant. My thought process here is that I want to kill things fast. Because the longer that I'm up for, the more the longer the boss is up for, the more likely that I'm gonna get hit and I'm gonna run out of honor. And that has happened to me on a run before. This is where it changes, baby. You and your minions deal 50% more damage. This is fucking sweet. And then I just buy the Restore Honor when venerating a Mariketh Shrine. I just had the extra water. I figured I'd just use it. Because, like, I don't know if I'm going to run into the vendor again. So there I was aiming at the fountain. We don't need to go to vendor in... not back-to-back rooms, but every other room. I don't have enough water for that shit, so. Rewards are unknown on the map. You can see one further room. See one less room further ahead. I really don't want to take the 5% life energy shield mana on hit, because you will get hit by the final boss. It's tough not to. So it really sucks losing one room, being able to see one room ahead. It's actually a huge advantage if you can get something like that, because it allows you to plan for afflictions. Not so much boons, but it also plan for vendors and stuff like that to make sure you don't miss vendors and you can avoid bad afflictions. Sacred water fountain. I'm going to avoid the shrine that gives honor and an affliction. It was kind of bullshit. I got hit on the blind side there on the bottom of the screen. I couldn't see around the corner there. It's hard to see when these things pop at the bottom, like they're behind a wall or some shit. Just be careful. Those ones don't hurt too much, the ones that spin in a circle, but the ones that shoot out in a line, I've had a couple of runs end because my character wasn't in the exact right spot and I got nailed by a line of fireballs. Yeah, I'm like, give me this fucking sapphire ring so I can chance that shit. Get the half sacred water, better than no sacred water. Go to the boss. So this is the scorpion boss. So one thing you got to be real careful is that if you're standing on the edge of a platform like I am right now, she can throw those sand cyclone things that sinks you into the sand underneath these fucking things. And I've had it almost kill me once. So just be careful of the little quicksand areas, I guess. Next 10 non-boss monsters you hit are killed instantly. I didn't give a shit about that one. I think I bought the 50% defenses. Traps deal 50% less defense. And then I take a baby heal because I did get hit by like a trap or two. Bronze chests really don't fucking matter. I guess maybe you want to open belt ones. I don't know what the best bronze chest is, but I just flip them all here. I didn't give a shit. So at this point, I definitely realized that my boons and my afflictions are at the like best point I've ever been at in the Trial of Sekhemas. So I'm trying not to like hyperventilate. Breathe heavily into the microphone. You know. Life mana energy shield on hit comes up again. I don't like it that much. Monsters deal 30% more damage. Looking at the afflictions, trying to figure out if I want to do 30% more damage on monsters. And that's the one I choose, and the reason why I choose it is because I picked up the boon 50% more defenses. So it's like you kind of have to weigh some of these things. You're increasing monster damage 30%, but you're also mitigating it 50%. So it's like sometimes a boon and a affliction can cancel each other out. But my main goal here, as far as like boons and afflictions go, is to not hinder my defenses too much, but at the same time keep increasing my damage output against bosses. So it's a little bit of a shit show. I can't see an extra room ahead. Each one has 3 ways I can go. So I choose the middle. It's kind of a blind choice. I want the most room choices available to me here. So I was thinking about going for the gold key, but then I'm like, I think I end up choosing the silver key here so that I can have two room options after this one. I don't want to fuck up this trial. Yeah, it gives me more options further down the map too. The map whatever splitting arrow thingies. Rooms. They're rooms. Somebody wanted to buy something from me, so I couldn't do it. I'm definitely noticing the 50% increased damage. It's pretty crazy. So I'm trying to avoid the affliction here, so I'm looking at the large water fountain. So I kind of noticed that if I had picked the room previous, I would have been pigeonholed into that silver key with the 150 damage per room. But that's not even really that bad, but I don't want to be in that position. You know what I mean? So it's like I'd rather have the choice. Large fountain, 136 water, but yeah. So I'm juiced to see the vendor right after a large fountain. And I might be able to buy 2 things at this vendor. 2 nice things. Yep, 40% movement speed. So here I hesitate. I'm like, is 40% movement speed going to be too much? And then I think about the final boss that requires movement speed on one of their abilities. Next purchase at a merchant has no cost. That's whatever. So glowing orb is kind of like an extra life. Yeah, the glowing orb is just something I picked up extra. It's like an extra life. So if you go down below a certain point, it pops and you get X amount of honor and life and stuff. But the 40% movement speed, you see it here. I am fucking zooming around now. Doesn't look like much, but it is a lot in the on the last boss. So lose sacred water when you take a hit from an enemy. We're at the end here. It doesn't fucking matter. So I just picked that one. That one's actually not even bad to get in the middle of the dungeon. As long as you're not getting hit. Alright, so now we're going to fight the Temporal. This is the last boss. Try to shake out my hands here. Try to focus up. I fought this boss once before, but I took too much honor damage. And the fight was taking too long. But I feel pretty confident here with the movement speed, damage buff. I'll try to cover some of the mechanics and like what I'm doing. How I'm fucking up. I don't handle his mechanics perfectly, so. I shouldn't have put down Flame Wall because I can't see fucking shit with it down. But I'm pretty much just casting Spark, avoiding his little boomerang attack and the little balls flying throughout. The balls on the ground here, if you get hit by one of those, it's going to freeze you. I do hit one right there. He casts this like lightning bolt counterclockwise. I just try to like dodge roll through it. So step in the middle to trigger the six things that you have to step on. So I have one way over there. I cast Blink to get to it. I suggest having a movement skill just for this fight. Leap Slam or whatever, shield charge. Although I don't know if you need targets to Leap Slam and shield charge, but again, I get frozen, and I get slapped by the light, and I get frozen again. I mean, it's not bad if you can take the hit or whatever. Don't get hit by that slow-moving orb either. Everything is just avoid here. Avoid, avoid, avoid. So that movement speed helped me there because I missed the fifth one there. He throws a time rune down. You get teleported there once it reaches like 12 o'clock. And there we go. I hope this helps you with Trial of Sekhemas. I am a common man. I'm the layman. And I hope this will give you some insight or some kind of, you know, tip on how to get through it. Good luck on your journey. Hope you get your 4th Ascendency. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.